Welcome to Pera's Playbook. This is your host, Alex Pera. Let's open up our playbook and see who our guest is. Please enjoy. Welcome to episode 214 of Pera's Playbook. Today we're joined by Jana Willems. She's a sprinter with the Idaho track team. We're happy to have her on the podcast. How's it going tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. It's been so busy. I feel like I haven't done many podcasts recently. Like, I don't know, it's been a week or a week and a half since I've done a podcast, and that's unusual. Usually I'm cranking them out, but I've just been so busy this fall that it's
Hmm.
a good busy though, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you have a fall like practice that you guys are doing? And do you guys do an indoor season?
Yeah, we're in like our fall training right now. Well, technically we're in our 20-hour weeks since last week. But yeah, we are like indoor season technically starts in January. So we're like still in that rough training season right now. Hard
Yeah.
training.
So you got a bit of time before you have to worry about the indoor season.
For sure. Yes.
Well, let's talk a little bit about kind of high school before we talk about Idaho. Did you play other sports in high school, like other than track?
I didn't actually. I did club track and like high school track, so I didn't really like have time for other sports. And I knew I wanted to run in college, so that was kind of like my main goal. So that's what I focused on. But I did other sports in like middle school, elementary school, stuff like that.
Yeah, you just once you got older, you really devoted everything to track.
Yeah, basically. That was it.
That's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many people that look down on track and that don't give track the proper respect. And there's a lot of people that are amazing track athletes and then they pick a different sport because they're like, track's not, I'm going to pick something else instead of track. So I love it that you just devoted everything to track. I think that's because I've always loved track. I loved
Hmm.
doing track in high school. I love watching track. I think it's a tremendous sport and I don't think it gets the respect that it deserves.
For sure. I agree completely. I think
And
people
I mean,
overlook it.
for people like oh it's just running like well yeah but you know there's so many levels of intensity and the mental toughness that you need to have like if you have never done track and like actually competed and practiced and gone through brutal practices then you really like yeah it's just running well yeah no it's a little bit deeper than that you know try if you're a distance runner, try running 15 miles a day, or if you're a 400 runner, try doing 8 400s, back to back to back, or the hurdles. I did 300 hurdles my senior year, and coach would be like, "Yeah, we're doing 7 300 hurdles back to back to back," and I was like, "Lord
So
have
easy.
mercy." Yeah,
No, it's so precise. Like there's just so many things that go into it for sure. So
but it's
it's just
awesome.
yeah. It's like everything in your like life also just like depends on like how you perform too. So that's just like a whole nother thing. Like, eating habits, sleeping habits, all that stuff impacts how you run and how you feel. And I think more than any other sport, honestly. I mean, yeah, obviously every sport feels that way, but
Right. Well, and the weather has such a huge impact. Like
yeah, the wind.
basketball, volleyball, you're playing in a gym. It doesn't matter if it's a snowstorm or if it's 80 degrees out, you're in this contained environment. The track, I mean, you could throw football in there and baseball and some of these other sports, but generally, most of the fall is nice weather. And I guess football, I feel like a lot of the football, I mean, baseball, softball, they go to like Florida in the spring and they start like somewhere track it's like oh it's 40 degrees out and we're running this track especially if you're in Idaho or like you're over in the Midwest where I'm at like the spring track season often by the time college track is over it's really not that nice out.
No, I know because like even in May, it's not always very warm. So you're like freezing outside and training. You're like,
Or you're trying
but
to keep your muscles from tightening up you're trying to stay
yeah,
loose you're just freezing your butt off it's I think track, it's like you have this mindset, like I want to go out and I want to get this time. But if there's so many other factors that can impact what your time is, you could race it doesn't matter because it was so cold and you just couldn't get loose. And there's so many other factors that you don't have necessarily in some of those indoor sports.
yeah, especially like the wind. It's a big reason why I like indoor because there's never any wind. I'm like, perfect. It's just flat. Like we just
Yeah.
run through. No headwind. Headwind is like literally the worst outside. I'm like, I just like your times just it's insane how much wind impacts your times. Like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And then it sucks when you're like waiting around for your event, like all bundled up and the wind is just whipping. And the
For
the only
sure.
knock that I would give indoor is like depending on the facility, it can get dry. So like
Oh,
if you're like running distance or something indoors, it's like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. Your throat is just like sandpaper. I
oh
used
my
to hate that in
gosh.
high school.
Yes, before the race, I'm like, my mouth is so dry right now. I'm like, I need to like get some water, but oh, it's so bad. Yeah.
Then you start coughing, you're just like dying after you race. There's just nothing you can do. You're just dying.
It's the indoor cough.
Oh yeah. Oh, see, only track runners will know what exactly what we're talking about.
Yes, for sure.
So what was your recruiting experience like?
Um, that was definitely it was kind of a difficult process, I feel like. I started to email schools coming off of my junior year. And my times were like okay, but they definitely like could have gotten better. And so I just had a rough time. I reached out to a lot of schools and didn't hear a lot back. I heard back from Idaho, um, and a few other schools, but Idaho, like my old coach, he's not here anymore, but he was the one who was texting me, and then I kind of got ghosted by him for a few months, and I didn't hear back from him again until I ran a 60 indoor in like December or January or something. I think it was December. And he reached back out to me and offered me a visit. And then at the same time, I was kind of talking to Washington State. Both of my siblings ran track there. So my older siblings. And so I was kind of talking with that coach. I went on a visit there as well, but Idaho was just my main choice. Like I went there and I immediately knew that I wanted to come here. So
Yeah. It's pretty cool that you have siblings that also ran Division One track. Like,
yeah.
I think that's so awesome when there's multiple people in a family that like it just shows you got a pretty athletic family when you got that many people in one family that can go on and do a college sport. It's pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah, and I like knew I wanted to run track in college after seeing them too, just work so hard and get there. That was just definitely something that drove me to want to do that too. So
Yeah. I should have looked at Idaho's facilities online, but do you guys have an indoor track at
we
Idaho? Do you have an
do,
outdoor
yeah.
track too?
Yeah, we have both. Our outdoor track doesn't have like stadium like seating or anything, so we don't like host outdoor meets. We go up to like Spokane a lot. Like there's a track up there that's pretty nice for indoor and outdoor. But we do host this year. I think we're hosting two indoor meets, so that'll be super fun. Normally we only host
Yeah,
one.
that's
So
cool.
yeah.
I always I gotta ask because you would assume, right? Like a school with a track program, you're gonna have both an indoor and an outdoor track, or at least an outdoor. But my wife ran Division 2 track, and that college did not have an outdoor track. They just had an
Yeah.
indoor, so they could never host a meet, and they could never like really fully practice like the way you would for an outdoor meet because they didn't have one. And I just find that so bizarre. Like you have a track team, and you don't have a full length track.
No, tell me about it. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. Our track is underneath the turf in the dome. So
Oh,
they roll up the turf and our track is under there.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is
Hmm.
pretty cool.
Hmm.
So you guys get to run in there and so do like when you guys have a meet there, are like all the teams like hanging out up in the stands and like people are just kind
Yeah.
of chilling whenever, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
That's one of the best parts about track. It's the meets, like being with your teammates and your friends and all this stuff and just like hanging out watching your teammates run. I always loved that about track.
For sure. Yeah. No, me too. That was like the most fun thing in high school too. They were just extra fun and like just everyone was having a really good time. Sometimes in college it can get a little more serious, but like
Yeah,
our
right.
team always has a good time, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, in high school, you'd get out early. Maybe you'd have a long bus ride hanging out with your teammates, and then you'd have like 3 hours at the meet, and a long bus ride home. And it was always, yeah, it
So
was always a
fun.
good
Yeah.
time.
Good times for sure.
So, did you notice any like big differences between like the level of maybe like I guess the speed, the level of talent from like when you took the jump from high school track to college track? Like, was it like a shock to you, or was it not that big of an adjustment?
I mean, 100% big level difference. Like I kind of knew I was aware of it coming in. Obviously, in high school, there's less talent, which not because of anyone's less talented. It's just not a lot of people are training all year round to like work hard in the high school season, right? So obviously in high school or in college, you can see everyone has put in the work all year. So a lot of fast people. I had seen that obviously in my siblings, so like I knew I was expecting it, but it's definitely something you have to get used to. I think in racing because you have to be like you're not going to win every race, like you hope to, but it's just something you're going to have to work on thinking about your own race and not thinking about the people next to you and just pushing yourself in each race. So definitely hard,
Right.
but yeah.
And the depth on like teams, like you could look at like I don't know 15th place at a race, and that time could win first place at a different meet. Like
Oh yeah.
times are so it fluctuates. Or if you look at high schoolers, it's like, oh, this is a really fast high schooler, and they placed first in high school. You're like, man, that wouldn't even crack the top 20 in college. It's like it's really crazy.
Yeah. And it's like, it's super crazy too because so many different tracks are faster than others. So if you race somewhere like New Mexico has a really fast track, that's random, but they do have a very fast indoor track. And so people that go there run super fast times or it's just like so you might see someone ran a really fast time there and you're like, oh, I'm not even close, but it's there it just depends where you're at and where you're running and who you're running against. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, who are you running against is another big thing. Like, because you can push yourself off of somebody else, but if you're at a meet where maybe you're the fastest person, you might not be able to push as hard because you're leading the way. So your times might not improve. Maybe you'll still win, but if you're like the top dog, sometimes it's hard to push. Sometimes it's nice to have that person, like especially in distance when you're like trying to like get a tailwind off somebody, you're trying to keep with them. It pushes you to stick with them. And then, right, you obviously you hope you can pass them at some point. But if you're going for a time and you're way out ahead of everyone, it's really hard to pace yourself and be like,
yeah,
I want to set this PR because you're like 3 laps ahead of somebody.
100%. Definitely in distance, that's super. I can't even imagine like having to run more than like half of a lap. Like I've ran 400 a few times, but I don't usually touch that. So like thinking like I don't think much when I'm racing. I'm just go. You know what I mean? So I can't even
Yeah.
imagine like having that have to run through my head during my race. Like I'd be like so stressed out.
Do like a 10K. It's like, what are
Yeah.
you got to try to stay focused and like not,
Yeah.
yeah. And like I said, it'd be easier if you were in like a big pack. It's like, all right, everyone's tight. This is a really good race. But there's so many times, especially in high school, like in my local area last year, I started getting to like starting. So I was a starter for a lot of races. And the high school I work at, we had one of our students was trying to break the 2 mile record, and the meet he was running at, there was so little competition. I think he was 2 laps ahead of everyone, and it was so hard. He missed it by like 5 seconds or something.
Mhm.
Like he needed a 950 or he got a 955 or whatever it was. But it was just you could tell it was so hard for him to pace himself off of nobody.
Yeah, 100%. Pacing's super hard. I mean, if you have nothing to go off of, you're like, I don't know where I'm at right now. That's why a
Right,
lot of people
everyone's
wear like
hollering at
watches
you.
too.
Right, but it's like that doesn't help. Like, how much do I have
Yeah,
left in the tank? It's hard to tell when there's not that person I gotta like push to
100%.
catch.
Yeah,
I mean, the
100%.
same would be true in a long sprint. Like if you're like
Hmm.
way out ahead in the 200, it feels different than you're like, there's somebody right ahead of me. I need to
Yeah,
push to get there.
yeah. Because then you're kind of like, could I have pushed harder? Like, I don't know because there
Right.
was no one there. Like, I felt comfortable, but I could have been uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. The mental side of track. It's not just like pushing yourself through the pain, but it's also like, do I have more in the tank? Could I have gone faster? There's all those like post-race thoughts that you have.
Hmm.
Terrible.
It's so
Terrible.
tough. I like hate finishing a race and being like, I should be more tired. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's just like sometimes when you're in the race, you're not like thinking, like you're just like, oh, this hurts, but like you know that you could have pushed more after, and that's always what hurts the most, for sure.
That's one of the worst feelings.
Yeah,
Have you had a most memorable meet yet, like in your college career?
definitely. Last year we went to UW and it was probably like the funniest, most fun meet I've ever been to. Like we just had um we went to like the mall and like we went to two different malls when we were there And it just so many funny things happened. We like shopped around, we got food before the meet. Like it sounds funny. Like track is like very like relaxed. Like genuinely like before you race, like it's relaxed, like you have time on your hands. So like after our pre-meet, like we walked to the mall and we like shopped around, we got back and like went to sleep, and the next day we raced, and it was actually like it was my best race of the season too, so that was definitely another reason why it was memorable. I think that's my like 60 PR, so that was like definitely a fun meet for me for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. We went shopping. I did
Yeah.
well. Great weekend.
We went and saw the Space Needle. Like we first got
Oh,
there,
there you
walked to the
go.
Space Needle, walked around, rode Lime scooters. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the stuff that'll like stick out in your memory. Like when you look back on your college career, like, yeah, you'll remember like, okay, I did really well at this meet, but all the memories you have with your teammates and that other fun stuff is what really sticks out.
100%. And we all bussed down too. So it was just like a memorable bus ride. Like we got stuck in the snow on the way back, and we were like all just like like talking to each other, playing games. It was a good time for sure. So
Yeah, people from down south would never understand that. Getting stuck in the snow. Yeah, I get it because I'm from Michigan. We get lots of snow, but if you were from Florida, you'd be like, huh, what?
literally, yeah.
So you were on the 4x100 relay team that set the school record at Idaho, which I mean, that's pretty cool. There's you think about a Division 1 program and how many amazing runners have gone through there, and now you're part of the history books, which is really awesome.
Oh yeah, genuinely it's like probably the most exciting experience I've had here. Um we like I was the only freshman on that squad too. I was with fourth years and a fifth year. So it was super nerve-wracking, stressful situation for me. I really was like glad that my coach trusted me and put me in that spot because like genuinely we had a lot of trial and error with that. We dropped the baton at a few meets, like didn't make the pass off. We were like, oh gosh, but finally came together at conference, and seeing that time after was just like such a big deal. And we got second overall. So it's a super, super fun and cool moment and super like emotional. So
There's so much that goes into a perfect 4x100 relay, right? Like you can run as fast as you want, but if you don't get those handoffs down, that can waste so much time. Obviously, if you drop the baton, like there's so much when it works perfectly, it's so perfect to watch. It's like when it's so in sync, the handoff, boom, boom, boom. It's just it's amazing. I think that's something people don't think about with track, right? They kind of like we talked about, they think, oh, it's just running. How hard could it be? But you add in like with the handoffs, that timing aspect of timing it just perfect to get
mm-hmm.
that perfect handoff where you're not the person taking the handoff doesn't have to like stop and slow down and reach behind. And you see that all the time in high school with like inexperienced people who didn't practice. They stop and they like completely turn around and grab it. And then they start running. It's like you just wasted 8 seconds.
Yeah, facts. Like I know it's so true. So high school. I know, like, and you even see it in college sometimes too, which is funny, but yeah, definitely
I,
it was. I love the 4x1. It's super exciting, super
yeah,
fun.
that's a fun event to watch. I don't really think there's a bad event to watch in track. I really like watching all of them. I guess some of the distance ones,
You
if
like the
it's not a
10K?
competitive race, it's like the final lap, it's like, oh, this is great. Look at him digging in. But when you're on like lap 3 in the middle, you're like, oh,
Mhm.
whatever.
No, literally. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say some of the distance events. But it's nice when you're like at the meet and you're like, oh, the 10K is going right now, so I got some time to rest or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
chill.
Like
Steeple, that's a fun one to watch.
yeah. Steeple is fun to watch actually. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your off-season training like? Do you train pretty hard in the off season?
Yeah, right now we're going 6 days, kind of like 5 days. Our Saturdays are like kind of more recovery days for the short sprinters. And we lift 3 times a week. It's we've done like some hard workouts for sure. I would say it's it's a different kind of like hard. It's a lot like today we did like 3x3 sets of 80. And so it's like kind of short rest during each set. And that's like just, tiring. Your legs are tired, you're out of breath and all this stuff. And you're a little bit on the ground after, but it's like a good hard like to where you just feel good. You're pushing your speed endurance and you're feeling good. And definitely I honestly really love fall training because it's just you feel so accomplished ever after every workout you do, and it's a great feeling for sure.
Yeah. What about in the summer? Do you do like stuff on your own in the summer? Do you guys do team stuff? Have you stayed around, or do you just go like what's your summer workout look like?
Yeah, like our breaks are pretty like we get all of our breaks, which is pretty nice. Track is a nice thing where you can do workouts on your own. So like over the summer, I focused on just like strengthening the spots that were weak, like just things that I noticed. Like I was really trying to work on my form this summer, trying to get better knee drive because I just have a bad like I had a bad stride last year, just like my whole life. So I've been really trying to work on that. Just like little things that matter when you get to actual training and more like form strengthening, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, for sure. Yeah, it is nice. It's hard to practice football on your own. It's hard to
Yeah.
practice some of these other sports. You at least need one other person with track. You can like work on stuff all by yourself. You can just
Mm-hmm.
go out and especially if you're a distance runner, you just go run, throw on some headphones and just run. But even if you're a sprinter, obviously you can do stuff that other sports can't necessarily do, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. 100%. It's nice to get our breaks too, because I know a lot of sports don't get that luxury. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, you look at some sports, I mean, some of them kind of span the entire college year. It's like football starts in August and then it goes through February basically, like is when you're
Yeah.
done when the if I guess if your team makes it to the playoffs and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's a possibility that you're going for basketball, they've started practicing already and that goes through March. So it's nice that you guys like you said your indoor season doesn't start till January and then you've got so basically from January on you guys are going. But in the fall, it's a little more relaxed. You can focus on your schoolwork and something a few of these other sports can't do.
100%. Yeah, I
So
agree.
in some kind of non-track talk, like if you could sit down on a bench and just talk with any athlete ever, pick their brain on like just being a competitor and just ask them questions to benefit you, who would you want to talk to?
Um, I think I would want to talk to Sydney McLaughlin. She is genuinely like the most impressive sprinter I've ever seen. Like, just so relaxed when she runs, so content. Super hard worker. Super humble. Like, I don't know how she does it. She's just she makes every race look so easy. She's a 400 hurdle runner. I literally have never watched someone run the 400 hurdles so relaxed, so easy, just finish and like barely out of breath. I'm like, I just don't know how she does that, but definitely her. And she just has such strong faith as well. And I know she wrote a book, and I really want to read it actually, but she's just super, super
Yeah,
talented. So super insane.
she is incredible.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's something like people who don't like track are missing. It's like watch the Olympics at least. Like use that to get you into being interested in track. And then like watch the NCAA nationals every year. It's amazing. The level
Oh,
of talent's incredible. Watch the world championships every summer and all. I love watching track and it's only on TV for those major events, which kind of sucks, but track is one of my favorite sports. I love, being involved in like the high school track season and just I love looking at times and it's a great fantastic sport. I think people should give another look to. And there's so many athletes out there. Right? I mean, most people would probably say, "Oh, I want to sit next to Michael Jordan. I want to sit next to LeBron or Tom Brady. I want to pick their brain," which is that's awesome. That's great, but like yeah, sit next to a track athlete that
hmm
sit next to Usain Bolt, ask him some questions, right? Sydney McLaughlin, or pick any distance runner that runs these insane, paces. It's just crazy. I'd love to sit down with an Olympic distance runner and say, like, "Look, tell me about your mental toughness. Like, what do I need to do to be mentally tough? Because what you guys do is incredible."
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
So you mentioned faith with Sid McLaughlin, so I'm assuming that's something that's important to you. Let's talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely something I always go back to, That is just before every race, I'm like, God, just give me strength, whatever happens, happens. I know like I know he has a plan for me. Like obviously all glory to him, like no matter what happens, like that he has a plan for me and I am happy with my results no matter what. I try not to beat myself up too much and just know that, everything happens for a reason, and um it's super helpful to have and just be like, he's there, he's got me. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's hard too to not beat yourself up, right? Like it's
Yeah.
so easy to say like, well, I know God's got a plan and I just got to trust it. But it's so hard like as a human to wrap your human brain around that. You want control over everything. Like we always want control.
Hmm.
And it's so difficult sometimes to just like sit back and be like, okay, whatever happens is gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna do my best with whatever I'm doing, but like I just gotta trust that, whatever happens in our life, like in your
Yeah.
recruiting journey, like you gotta trust that like you're gonna be going to the right place and like, if you have to transfer, you gotta trust that that was meant to happen. When you do or don't get a job coming out of college, you gotta trust that it's for the right reason. Um, because there's so many times it's like, man, why didn't I get that job? Like I'm so angry I didn't get that job. And then maybe a month later something way better comes along and you're like, oh, look at that, it worked out, you
Yeah,
know?
completely agree. I've seen that so many times in my family's life, in my life, just like insane. And you're like, oh, that's why that happened, because there's this bigger opportunity for me. And yeah, definitely big deal. Big
I
important
always
thing.
think of it like our lives are this huge puzzle that's God's building for us. We can only see this like tiny little spot on the puzzle. So maybe we don't understand why the pieces are fitting together or where all the pieces are. He can see the end product. He can see the whole thing. We can only see this little tiny piece of the puzzle. So that's why like our human brains, we can't figure it out. We get all worked up. We, you know.
I completely agree. Yeah. You just get lost in like, you're trying to control everything when really you should just let go and let God control that for you, because he's always gonna have a plan. So
Right.
yeah.
And like you never get like a better friend than God, right? Like your real friends, if you're struggling, like yeah, they'll have your back most of the time, but they've got their own life too. Like
Hmm.
God he's always got your back. He's always there for you when you need him. He always wants what's best for you. Um,
Always
so it's just
listening
like
and mhm.
right, he's always there. You can just talk to him whenever. Like
Yeah.
I find myself if I go for a walk alone, I often just start talking to God about whatever's going on. And I can't imagine where my life would be if I didn't have my faith. It's like it's so important to me.
Be
And
so
it's
lost, like I don't know,
right.
and
Yeah,
you wouldn't understand why anything happens, and that's just like so super hard. So
right. Yeah, like it gets you through the tough times and it gets you to the good times too. Like it's just I couldn't imagine not having faith. It's
mhm.
so important.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, I've been trying to make it a point to people who want to talk about it, to talk about it on the podcast. Like I think it's awesome that we've seen in like the sports world, major athletes are coming out and they're talking about their faith. They're not being afraid to talk about their faith. I think it's great. Just like the more people that spread the message, spread their personal experiences, their personal journeys, the better we can. Just keep spreading the word.
Completely agree, because sports is just such a great way to spread it too. Get a lot of interviews with sports, and when you finish your race, when you finish your game, you're able to just be like, yeah, God got me here, and I trust in Him, and
Yeah.
all glory to God.
I don't know how much you follow football, but Justin Fields, he's a quarterback for the New York Jets now, and I think last week he got benched. And when they were talking to him in his like post-game presser, he was talking about how he's like, yeah, it's really hard to get benched, but I know God's got a plan for me. He put me in this position, and this platform has allowed me to spread the word. So regardless of if I get to play next week or if coach keeps me benched, like I've still got this opportunity to spread the word, and that's the most important thing. In that
Hmm.
moment, he could have said, I'm so effing pissed at my coach because he benched me. This is ridiculous. He could have totally did that, but he had this grounded, humility and just like the big picture. There's more here than just football. I thought that was
Yeah,
awesome.
that's amazing. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, love talking about it with anyone that's willing.
Hmm. Love that.
Why don't we end on music? I don't know. I'm a big music guy, and I feel like a lot of runners are too, because when you're running, you just want to put your headphones on and just jam something good. So, are you a big music person?
I like. I wish I could say I'm a big music person. Like I enjoy listening to music, but I am picky about music. Like I like
Well,
what I
that's
like and
okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So um yeah, but I mean I like probably more of just like upbeat, like I guess R&B, stuff like that. I used to listen to like EDM too. Sometimes I still do. Like I
that's
like
good
that. It's
stuff. Gets you
funny.
going sometimes.
Yeah, my sister's like a big EDM listener, and I like old EDM music. But yeah, I
Gotta
used to
get those
listen to
club
like
beats going.
yeah, literally. I used to listen to that like type of music before my meets last year. Just give me hype, ready to go. So
Hey, whatever works for you. And if you want to listen to classical music, you want to listen to EDM, whatever gets you ready to run, you listen to it.
yeah, I
If you want to
mean,
listen to Weird Al, you listen to it.
I wouldn't say I'm like an avid EDM listener, but I do appreciate some music. So for sure.
Yeah. So you were saying like you enjoy music, but you're not a huge music person. Would you sit at home, like say the TV's not on? Would you sit in silence if you were doing something? See, like for me, it can't be quiet. Like if the TV's not on, there has to be music. There's got to be some sort of noise stimulating my
Right.
brain.
It totally depends what I'm doing because it depends on like if I'm like doing homework or something. Usually I like can't like I can't always like tune out what I'm listening to and I start like I can't write and like listen to music at the same time. Um it like for working out definitely like in the gym I love listening to music. Like I need that to like feel like hyped like this year in the weight room like we love to like blast music and just dance and like have fun. It's like my favorite part of lift. But like certain things I definitely want to listen to music, but sometimes I'm like I kind of need like quiet. Like
The only time I like quiet, I think, is like if I'm on a walk or something.
yeah,
Like it's like, oh, I guess it's not completely quiet because you get the sounds of everything else, but like then I'm content without music. But yeah, if I'm at home, if I'm doing homework, I'll just listen to something without words, classical, something instrumental. Because
right.
I've totally been there where you're like listening to something with words, you're writing a paper, and all of a sudden you're like typing the lyrics to the song, and you're like, oh, wait, delete. That's not right.
Literally. That's the way we
Uh,
have like I don't even know what I'm writing right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's fun. Because I
Mhm.
have talked to people, like, what about in your car? Do you listen to music in the car?
I yeah, definitely music in the car. That would be crazy if you were listening to nothing. I can't do that. Like
I've talked to
can't do
people
that.
and they said like it's silent. I don't listen to anything. I hate that. Then you're gonna hear like if there's something wrong with your car, you're gonna hear the noise
Yeah,
and
like I don't need to hear that. Like that's out of sight, out of mind. Like I don't
right, yeah, I don't want to hear. If my car is broken, I'd just rather not know. I just crank
yeah,
the music and like
if it gets me where I need to go.
right. Exactly. I couldn't believe that. They're like, yeah, I like silence. Like, oof. I don't want
No.
to ride with you.
Yeah. I actually went to the weekend concert over the summer.
That was
Which
probably
was
awesome.
yeah, it was really fun. It was my first concert ever. So
Wow.
um yeah, I went with my sister too, and that was we both really love the weekend and we know like all the songs. So we were like singing. It was a really fun time for sure. Um yeah.
That always baffles me when people who are like in college or right they're in their early to late 20s say that they've like never been to a concert. They've just been
I
to their first
know.
concert because like, I'm a huge concert guy. I had a buddy, um, we're both 24, and he was like, "Yeah, we went to a concert, a big metal festival this summer." He's like, "I've never been to a concert before. This is going to be fun." What? You mean you've never been to a concert? Like I went to four last year. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what do you
It's like
mean?
so mind-boggling to me being somebody that like likes concerts. I always make it a point, not always big ones, or sometimes they're small concerts. Honestly, I think like a smaller. There's a I live like 4 hours from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and like right down the road from Lambeau Field, there's this concert venue that's not very big, but they get a lot of cool stuff. Like if you're especially if you're into like rock bands, they get a lot of decent bands there, and I like that close small venue where there's maybe like 1,000 people in there, opposed to like, I mean, someday I'd like to go to like a huge stadium concert, like what's the one in London that people always go to? I can't remember what it's called.
Oh,
I
I
know like
actually don't know.
Coldplay will like sell it out. There'll be like 300,000 people there, whatever the heck it is. It's a
Yeah.
crazy number. Like that would be cool to experience once someday.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I love concerts. There's nothing like if you have a band that you like their music or an artist and you just like get that pure raw emotion from them and There's nothing like it. Sometimes I think if I listen to the music after the concert, I'm like kind of let down. I'm like, this just isn't as good.
That's so true. Like me, okay, I literally like listened to the weekend after. I was like, this just isn't the same. Like the concert was so good. I just can't even like. I had to take a break. It's like I
It
can't
just
even
doesn't hit
listen.
anymore. You're like, this used
Yeah,
to be hype, and now it's just my speaker doesn't do justice. Like,
literally. Yeah, because like I wouldn't say like I don't listen to music ever. Like that's not me. But like I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest music fan ever. You know what I mean? But
yeah. What about podcasts?
definitely love music. But
Podcasts?
oh, I'm not a big podcast person. I'm not gonna lie. I get bored. I'm
But
like,
you're on one, so you can say you're a podcast
I
person
okay,
now.
yeah, true. I mean, I'll do podcasts. I like to talk, but sometimes I'm
Right.
like, I'm bored listening.
You're right. I host a podcast and I don't really listen to any. I mean,
Okay, I also listened to your podcast. I listened to Jackson's podcast on here. It was very good.
yeah.
I
Oh, he
like to
was
listen to
great.
people I know talking.
Right.
That's another thing.
That's
Yeah.
one thing I try to do. Like I try to, so like I've had Jackson on, I've had the
Yeah.
Lane brothers on. So like there's this like I gotta try to keep getting people that know them might know, or like, oh, there's another Idaho athlete. I try to like group and if I can get people from the same university because there's like mutual interest there.
Yeah, I feel bad. I'm like, obviously, like podcasts are great. I'm just, I feel bad because I'm on a podcast right now. But no,
There's so
but I'm
the,
not a
the good
huge
ones are so
podcast
long
listener.
though, right?
Yeah. No,
Like
like ones that are like hours, I'm like, I have like listened to some on planes though, because like sometimes music is just like not hitting and I'm like, I need something else. But I like to watch TV like more than anything, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe the people that like watch Joe Rogan every single day. It's like he puts out like a four
No.
hour podcast every day. Like, where do you get the time to listen to that? What?
I know, like I
Seriously.
can't, yeah. I honestly like I lose like my attention span. Like it's not good. I have like a low attention span, so
That's
that's
why
my problem.
songs are great, right? Because you like get
Yeah.
a good song, it's like 3 minutes, boom, attention
Hmm.
span done.
So completely agree. Yeah.
Will you listen to your own podcast? Like, will you go back and listen to this? Sometimes
I
I do that
might.
for like myself. I'm like, oh, how did I
Yeah.
sound? Did I sound bad? Like I
Yeah.
gotta like,
I'm probably gonna watch and be like, oh, why did I say that?
I do that all the time. It's like, man, that sounded stupid.
Yeah. Literally like, oh, cut that out. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
Once in a while, my mom will like watch the podcast and she'll be like, you touch your nose a lot. And I was like, no, I didn't know that. She's like, yeah, you're always grabbing your nose. I guess that's my nervous tick or something. I don't know. See, here I go. I just touched it again.
You're touching it again. No, yeah, like totally. Like I feel like I accidentally just like do stuff I'm not even like realizing because just
Oh yeah.
subconsciously. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, you just have no idea. Somebody tells you, "Did you know you do this all the time?" No, I had
I have
no.
no
I
idea.
really just it's just a habit. It just happens.
When you're being videotaped for like an hour at a time too, so people are probably like noticing the things you're doing. Like
If anyone watches more than one episode, they're like, "Man, that guy's got to stop touching his nose."
constant nose itch or something.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes it's like now that we're talking about it, I feel like I have an itch in my nose. I have the
Yeah,
urge to
me.
itch it. Well,
It's making it itchier as we're talking about it.
that's totally how it is, right? Like you start talking about food, you get hungry, you start to like the mind is such it's crazy. It's
I know it's pretty
crazy.
crazy. Or like you talk about yawning and then you start to yawn, or like
Right.
talk about sneezing, you sneeze.
Oh, I know. It's terrible. You talk about somebody having the hiccups and all of a sudden you're stuck with the hiccups. You're like,
Yeah,
where does
literally.
that come
So
from?
true.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast and,
Yeah,
and
thank you for
talking a little
having
bit
me.
about track. We gotta have the track people represent, right? Got to spread the love for the sport.
100%. I agree. Gotta give you some more people to interview. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Hey, if there's any other Idaho track athletes, you got any friends that you think would come on the pod? I'm always looking. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for more episodes soon.